understand that if he marries that type of woman, that's what his kids are going to turn out to be. Because the woman, she pours the culture into the children. So he marries that woman who actually is going to head that charity. She's going to be the one that's going to cry to him and say, hey, I seen a homeless guy on the corner. Can we figure out how to do something for him? Or, hey, there's a charity over here that I want to start it, or I want to lead it. So we have to stop thinking it was some wealthy woman that began a lot of these charities that we enjoy today, because they have a soft heart. We have to stop thinking that wealthy women are like vindictive, evil women that's sitting around just taking and taking and taking. And I hate the fact that that is the image that's out there. And that's what a lot of young women want to aspire to be, because that's what social media has taught them to be, which is incorrect. It is so much structure in wealthy households. Kids still do chores, learn instruments, language. Yes. My oldest son is Japanese. He does Japanese. My other daughter's French. They wanted different languages. And I was like, I don't know where y'all going to use that at. But now I understand where they're going to use it at, because my daughter's going to Japan during the summer. And my son is trying to go over there to work. So they're using all of the things that they learned, because that is the job of the wife. She makes sure that he gets the children get these extra things, like these extra activities and languages. At one point, Mandarin was big, and it still is big to a certain point, but Asian, Japanese languages are the ones that kids that are coming from resources and wealth, they're learning that. At one point, it was like, oh, for Spanish, no, it's Mandarin. Now it's Mandarin. I'm like, what are these kids going to use Mandarin at? What are they going to use it at? But now I'm kind of getting an understanding of what's happening and why it's good for them to learn that language. Because especially if they're going to be competing in certain industries, Mandarin is going to be needed. Okay? Mandarin is going to be needed. That's the reason why wealthy families are always one step ahead of the trends of what's needed so that they can compete. Shouts out for Ghana. Hey, hello, hello. So like I said before, but you don't have to do any of these things. Trust me, you don't. You can you can be average, and you can just be okay with the men that you attract. It is a choice to invest in yourself, to put in effort in yourself, to do the things that's going to make you better. It is a choice. Every woman doesn't have to be high value. Every woman doesn't have to be a kingmaker. Every woman doesn't have to pour into her family. You don't have to do all these things. I guarantee you can choose to be average, but you have to be okay with what that brings you. And don't get mad about it. Don't get upset about it. Make a choice. Either I'm going to do what it takes so I can be a kingmaker, so I can be high value, so I can be a woman who breathes rare air, or I'm going to be an average woman. I'm going to be okay with that. Because what you attract now is what you attract. The only way to change that is to increase your feminine energy, to invest in yourself and put effort in the things that are going to make you better. But if I'm not going to lie to you, I can't stand the platforms that lie to you and say this is easy, because it is not. Any woman that I have met that is a kingmaker, that is high value woman, she puts so much energy and effort into herself. And it is a daily thing. It is not something where you can say, oh, well, I'll do it tomorrow. No, it's a daily choice to pour in yourself, to invest in yourself, and to put effort in to be that. I want you all to really think about this, because and I'm not one of these platforms to say I'm only teaching the women who want to be kingmakers. I think any information I give can help you to improve yourself overall. Okay? But I understand that every woman doesn't have to be a kingmaker or a high value woman. Every woman doesn't have to be that. Every woman has to choose what she is willing or what she's open for. What are you open to do? How much energy, effort are you willing to put in to be what you want? Like, the thing is, I want you all to get in this line of thinking. If I'm willing to put 4 years in to get a college degree, am I willing to put energy and effort in to be what I want to be? The type of woman I desire to be. Don't sit around and just dream about being that thing we're living in a time when you have the ability to be that. But I'm not going to lie to you about the process. I'm going to tell you the truth. It takes years of energy and effort to do it. It is not overnight. It is a lot of work to put into self. Most platforms promote it as though that you don't do anything. But those platforms that are promoting that, y'all have to realize when it comes to how the brain works, it's ego. Because see, when it comes down to it, most of us want to believe that all of us are on the same level. I'm going to be honest with you and tell us we're all not. We're not all on the same level. And it has nothing to do with looks either. Because what I would invest in, what I would put my effort in, and what I would support, and what I would pour into will be different from what the average woman will do. So what are you willing to do? What energy and effort are you willing to put into it? And let me tell you, since this is a thing of being honest and vulnerable and transparent, you will get to a level where no one can answer the questions but you. It's not arrogance. It's because you surpassed the level of others. And since you surpassed the level of others, you're going to have to depend on self to go to that next level. You're going to depend on increasing your discernment, your intuition, your feminine energy. So there won't be someone who can answer the questions for you. Like, I was talking to someone last night and we were having a good conversation. We talked about how you can truly tell when someone is embodied when they have surpassed asking questions to others and they ask questions with self. So instead of saying, hey, what is this right here? They're like, okay, what do I have to do to get to the next level? And this is when they're meditating on it. And they trust the process and trust that the answer will show up either in the form of a whisper to self or or physically in the environment. The answer will come. But y'all have to realize to take this path, to become a kingmaker, to become a high value woman, to become a woman above average, a woman who breathes rare air, there will be a level that you will have no questions. There will be no one to answer your questions. And it will come down to trusting self to be able to tap into that blueprint to get the answers. And you can always tell embodiment by that. You can tell embodiment by that. You can tell embodiment by the level of questions that person asks. All right, so let's go. Hey, thank you so much for this. I've always feared losing the kind side of me to have a high value man. As they've always said, men I will never be one. See, the thing is, they're not. I think the misconception there is because they're not talking about relationships where they're not talking about marriage. Okay, I said they're not talking about marriage. They're literally talking about how to get money from a man. And so you have to, according to them, the way they've always done it is to be a B to that man, and in order to get money out of him. Y'all have to realize some people are not teaching from a perspective of marriage. I'm teaching from the perspective of marriage because I believe in marriage. That is my principle, is marriage. Okay, so I'm teaching women about marriage, how to be in a healthy, happy marriage. So that's where all my information is coming from. A lot of women who talk about you have to be a B, you have to mistreat him, you have to be mean to him, they're talking about getting something from the man. They're talking about platforms. They're talking about how to finesse. That's the reason why they're going to be given these are two different platforms. And I'm not saying right or wrong because I honestly stick to my lane. I stay in my lane, as you know. Okay. And I feel like the choice is up to the woman, what she desires to be a part of. But we're talking about two different things. The women that are saying that, they're talking about finessing. And you have to move a different way. Well, honestly, they've only unlocked one part of dark femininity in order to finesse, when you can actually finesse and still do it in a way that is kind and open-hearted. But you have to have, there's levels to that. And they understand that a lot of women are only going to go so far. So they're giving it to you in a manner of finessing. That's all it is. It's finesse. It's the difference between finessing and marriage. Does the physical aspect enter into being a kingmaker, like the body shape or being all pampered? The body shape only becomes a problem when you make it a problem. When you make it a problem. See, the thing is, I never think about my body shape. I just think about my health. I think about health is wealth, and I want to make sure I take care of myself so that when I age, I'm at the best health that I can possibly be. A kingmaker is going to think along the line of health. Like if y'all watch, I've lost tons of weight. You see me do it on social media. If you go look at my old videos, I lost tons of weight because I'm always thinking about my health. Being a kingmaker, not only does it take time, we're not thinking about the body shape. We're not thinking about what we look at, like we're thinking about our overall health. And how does that affect our environment? How does it affect us? What will it look like if we are healthier versus unhealthy? So it's not about the body shape, it's more about the health. What is a female version of a bum? The female version of a bum, in my opinion, personally, is the woman who refuses to invest in herself. Like she's the woman who is, she's got more excuses. She refuses to actually do anything for herself to actually improve her life. And to me, a bum overall, since I'm family oriented, I truly do believe a woman is a bum if she chooses to live the same life and not improve the life of her kids. Even if you didn't have the best life, my kids shall not ever experience the things that I experienced. So to me, that is a bum in a woman. A woman is a bum who chooses to overlook the type of men that she's dating and go out here and go, it's all about love, but then don't care what her children are going to end up in. I care more about the kids. To me, a woman is a bum if she bring her kids down that same path and not care about their future. I think when it comes down to female bum, every woman has a different definition on that. She complains. Yeah, I don't believe in complaining. I think complaining is a waste of energy. Like the time that I took to complain, I could be actually moving forward and progression. I can actually be doing something to improve my lot in life, improve myself, invest myself, put effort into being the best version of myself versus me complaining about it. Because complaining gets you nowhere. And I'm glad that my grandma taught me that. I remember one time when I was a little girl and she was sitting here, I was just sitting here crying, oh, boo hoo hoo hoo. And she said, she recognized I was crying and she was like, Braille, do you feel better? And I said, yeah, I feel better. She said, now, I want you to think about something. After you've cried, what has it changed? And that hit me hard because I think I was like 12, 13 years old. And she's like, what has it changed? She said, there's nothing wrong with tears because tears is like the cleansing of the soul. It cleanses your energy. But once you've cried it out, what's next? And I was like, yeah, what's next? And she changed it. She changed it all for me. So now, yeah, I cry just like anybody else because tears are cleansing of the soul. It cleanses your energy so you can get up and do it again. But I never sit around and complain and sit in it. Like, to me, complaining and sitting in it is just like sitting in your own crap and not doing anything to move forward. So you won't hear me complaining. You will hear me figuring out, okay, how do I invest in myself to make this better? How do I put effort so I can change this thing? Or maybe I need to communicate something. Maybe I'm not communicating it. What can I do to change my circumstances? And what I would never do is bring a kid into it and not make sure it's better for them. I appreciate you. You're going to give it to us raw with love. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for saying that. Because I'm not going to lie to you all. When I first started social media, I was considered to be too rough. Too rough. And I was attracting in the wrong people to the platform. And so I've tried to soften it. But I'm not going to lose that edge where I give it to you raw. Because if I don't give it to you raw, you're going to be caught up in the lies. And social media can detour you from what you need to have in life if you get caught up in lies. And you won't believe how many people that have come into my one-on-ones and coaching, and they have said they have been with other people who have more followers. And they're like, oh, this person didn't tell me like this. They did not tell me to the point where it helped me. I was like, well, I don't know how to do it any other way. I literally had to soften my tone and soften my approach because I want